of non-progressive, that means when it has happened, when a brain cell dies, it doesn't make other, it doesn't continue die. Okay, like it's
Grow.
it
Okay, it
doesn't,
stops working.
stops there.
Okay.
So it doesn't
It
bring
doesn't
any
keep
other
getting worse.
Yes, it doesn't
Okay.
keep getting worse.
So it's dead. It's dead.
It's there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's dead at the moment, and it's dead at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that as the child grows, there is going to be continuous death of the brain cells.
Okay.
Yeah.
So more into that, what actually happens into the body of a child having a cerebral palsy?
Yeah, a child having cerebral palsy, when the brain cells die, or when a child gets cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy itself, it's the word cerebral palsy means the cerebellum, and then the word paralysis.
Okay.
So the brain gets paralyzed, the cerebellum gets paralyzed, and then the word is connected as cerebral palsy. So you find that when a child gets cerebral palsy, it affects their motor function, their cognition, the way they understand
Things, yeah.
yes, and also on how they do their activities of daily living.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to you. As he has said, it affects like their way of life, the way they do their things, and does it also change the way we look at them about their nutrition and also their growth? Are there the challenges that are associated with that, with the nutrition bit of it, with children having cerebral palsy?
Definitely, as he has explained, we have brain damage or death of the brain cells.
Yeah.
Right? So that means that the coordination of the body is going to change. It's not going to be as normal as another normal child's brain and coordination.
Okay.
So of course, if we have impairment of the brain, it's going to impair how our bodies do take up the daily activities,
Okay.
which is definitely going to affect the food intake, right? Because we use muscles to
Yeah,
eat,
sure.
right? We have muscles in our jaws, and you know that chewing involves jaw movement.
Yeah.
So of course, if a child does not have proper coordination for that means they're going to have difficulties in chewing, they're going to have difficulties in swallowing, they're going to have difficulties in sucking. You know, because you have proper coordination, if I give you a bottle of soda with a straw, you are going to definitely start sucking, right?
Yeah.
But then you have poor sucking. So definitely because of those challenges, of course, we're going to have low dietary intake, definitely leading us to malnutrition. So the biggest challenge we're going to have in children with cerebral palsy is loss of weight and malnutrition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So to your physiotherapist, are there different forms of cerebral palsy, and does it present the same way in children?
There are different forms of cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
And they are actually they are differentiated. They're divided in different types.
Okay.
There is the spastic that is majorly making the muscles so stiff, and also there is the floppy cerebral palsy.
Okay.
Making the muscles of the child being so weak, or the child being soft. They make the word floppy. So soft.
Yeah.
Yes. And there are also others like dyskinetic. There are also others like hemiplegic, when the child is affected on only one side of the body, yet the other side is normal, but this other side is also.
Okay, so for a child having cerebral palsy, do these types show in the same way in every other child, or they are specific with different people and according to what is being affected?
Depending on the level of injury and also the part of the brain that is affected, you find that when a child is brain, for example, the cerebellum, the cerebellum is responsible for the balance.
Yeah.
You find the child's balance is going to be affected.
Yeah.
Then when you find that the child's part of the brain, for example, the one that controls the muscle tone, is affected, you find that this child their muscle tone is either going to be either spastic
Okay.
or very floppy. So different children and different level of injuries depict what part of the brain, what part of the body is going to be more affected.
Okay.
Yes.
So we've seen the types, what exactly is a cerebral palsy, and now someone is there asking themselves, like, what actually causes a cerebral palsy? How does it even develop in a child? Is it after birth, during delivery, or even after a child is being born?
Cerebral palsy is caused by, thank you very much. Cerebral palsy is caused, it is caused before birth, during birth, and also after birth.
So
When that's in the period when the brain is still growing, and this happens before birth and also up to the age of 3 years, usually 3 years.
So it
When the
happens during the
is-
brain development of a child.
Yes.
Okay.
So since we said in the beginning that cerebral palsy affects an immature brain,
Okay.
that means a brain in the mother's womb is immature, and up to when the child is 3 years.
Okay.
So you find that this child gets, for example, a mother being sick, and the baby can get cerebral malaria, and then the brain is affected, and then the child gets cerebral the cerebral palsy.
Comes in, yeah.
Yes, because of asphyxia.
Okay.
That's when a baby doesn't get enough oxygen during birth. Because when a mother is detached from the baby within 1 minute, that baby should breathe
Okay.
using their lungs. And when the oxygen goes to the brain, the baby doesn't get. So in the process of delivery,
There is also a lot
there
of
is also a load that goes, and then the baby gets cerebral palsy.
Okay.
And also after birth, you'll find a baby is growing, and then they get sick of any infection. That infection goes to the brain, and then the baby gets
cerebral palsy.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you have to be very keen on that.
Okay, so from the nutrition side, these challenges, there are challenges that can develop alongside cerebral palsy, even if nutrition wasn't the original cause of the condition. Like can that happen? Are there challenges that can actually develop alongside cerebral palsy?
Challenges to the child or to the mother?
To the child.
Related to nutrition without cerebral palsy or with cerebral palsy?
Without. Okay, the question is with the nutrition side, are there challenges that can develop alongside cerebral palsy?
Because the child has cerebral palsy.
Even if nutrition wasn't even an original cause, like a mother having
a child with CP and they get nutrition challenges from that.
Okay.
It's highly possible because you've talked about impairment or poor coordination.
Okay.
So if we're having difficulties with chewing, we're having difficulties with swallowing, we are having difficulties with gut motility, movement of the gut. We are having difficulties absorbing the food, which we call malabsorption, whereby all these are challenges in children that have cerebral palsy.
Okay.
But don't get me wrong, these children are not at the same level.
Okay.
As he has explained, there are different types of cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
So you find that there are those who do not have severe motor impairment, but there are those that have severe motor impairment, whereby most of the nutrition challenges are going to be on the latter.
Okay.
So definitely they are going to arise from the cerebral palsy because there is difficulty in ingestion of the food.
Okay.
Most importantly.
Okay, so
I'm sorry to cut you short. Also, we have causes of malnutrition, you know, that we can relate to cerebral palsy. We'll follow the UNICEF conceptual framework for malnutrition. So we have different causes, which are grouped into three. We have immediate causes, we have underlying causes, and we have the basic causes. So the immediate causes of malnutrition, even in our day-to-day life, under the immediate causes, we have inadequate dietary intake, and we have inaccess to healthcare. Sorry.
Okay.
We have inadequate dietary intake, and we have disease. Most importantly, that's the immediate, right? So if we're already having disease, which is cerebral palsy, which is an immediate cause or direct cause of malnutrition. So because we're having an underlying disease, we're definitely at risk of malnutrition. And then we have inadequate dietary intake because of this impairment or the poor coordination related to cerebral palsy. We're at risk of malnutrition. Then under the underlying causes, we have inadequate care for both the mother and the children. And today we're here to kill stigma in cerebral palsy.
Yeah, sure.
So if at all the mothers or the caretakers are stigmatized about these children, high chances they're going to receive inadequate care, which is definitely going to lead us to disease and it's going to lead us to inadequate dietary intake, bringing us to malnutrition. We have insufficient infrastructure with healthcare services, poor infrastructure with the roads to lead us to the access of these health services.
Facilities,
so of course you're going to find that most of these mothers are going to sit home and they're going to have ideas such as witchcraft.
Of course,
someone didn't want them to give birth normally. If at all they're in a polygamous marriage, it's going to come off as though their co-wives did something, but this is actually a health problem that can be managed. So because of that ignorance, you're not going to access the health services needed, leading us back to the immediate causes of malnutrition. And then when we come down to the basic causes such as poverty, political issues going on in the world, all goes back to you're poor, or you're struggling, you cannot buy the food, you can't buy the resources, and these children actually are very costly. So half the time they're demanding for a lot of things.
Attention,
exactly. The attention, the food, the modification of the diets that we're going to use. For example, if a child can't chew, they can't swallow, we need to blend. We're not only going to mash with a spoon. So if a mother cannot afford to actually get a blender, we are going to see that we are going to have other risks of aspiration of food going into the lungs, and then the disease keeps on progressing. We keep on losing weight and we keep on becoming undernourished.
Yeah, I understand. So moving forward from that, let's get into the signs. What are actually some of the signs of cerebral palsy that people sometimes may fail to notice in a child?
Some of the signs. Some of the signs that mothers may fail or the caregiver may fail to notice. Those are the delayed milestones.
Okay.
You may find a mother never noticed that this child has failed to sit.
Okay.
You may find a mother has failed didn't realize that his child cannot, the eye coordination
is not
good. You can find also that the mother failed for example, the mother didn't realize that their child or their baby didn't manage to the motor, the way they were using their hands at the period of birth. You might find the child's hands, legs, they are so floppy, and the mother didn't realize, or she may think the child will get better instead of getting the fast or looking for the intervention very fast. Yes.
And from that specific note, I think we should make a call to the people watching. If at all they, there are many things and misconceptions that go around there. People think that when a child doesn't walk, like in the first year, they are still developing. They actually don't even take the initiative of finding out why is the child not moving. Yet it can be an issue related to cerebral palsy. I think we should make a call there to the people watching.
Yeah, actually, we call upon all the mothers. For example, mothers who you may have your child is 5 months, they have not yet started. Your child has not yet started walking. She's already past the age. So you should be knowing. You should always ask your medical doctors, your healthy practitioners, that at what age can my baby, or at what stage can my baby sit? At what age can the child start learning how to turn, raising the head from the ground? For example, a baby can start learning to raise the head, like at 3 months. Can turn the head to the left and to the right. But now you see your baby with the way you left her or him, that's the way she is, or that's how he is.
Okay.
So that's an early sign to show you that your baby may be having an underlying cause, which could be even cerebral palsy.
Okay, yeah, I think that's highly important. Now, moving to you, and okay, while we talk about the early signs and the difficulties with feeding, also can be actually an early warning sign that a child may need a professional assessment.
Yes.
What do you think people there or parents should observe while feeding their children?
So as he has mentioned, I think the mistake many parents make is the acceptance of the condition.
the way that
there is that hope that it's going to get better.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I'm not trying to make parents lose hope, but it's just reality that if this has come, it has come. So the problem is already there, right? And it's not going to get any better. So with feeding, first and foremost, the mother or the caretaker or whoever is actually providing the feeds to these children will notice coughing while eating.
Yeah.
They will notice choking while eating. This child will also go to the point of vomiting out these feeds, right? As he has also mentioned, the sitting, the walking. So you can also see the posture when you're feeding this child, that they're not sitting straight in the chair, that they can barely maintain the balance. So of course it's going to affect the movement of food down the throat or the esophagus, whereby we're going to keep on choking. So most of the signs of difficulties in swallowing, which are the greatest challenges in children with cerebral palsy, it's most importantly choking. It's most importantly the difficulties in the chewing and the coughing. Yeah. So, but however, it depends. Some children will have difficulties in swallowing solids, such as, let me say, mashed matoke or maybe mashed Irish. But then also there are those that will have challenges in swallowing the liquids. They'll swallow the solids, but then they'll have difficulties in swallowing the liquids. So those are signs. If the child starts vomiting these feeds, please don't keep at home. It's a sign for you to actually go and seek health professional help, right? If the child is constantly refusing food, because these children have food aversions, half the time they have food aversions. So there's a point where the child totally refuses every type of food given to them. Right? And maybe they want only that one specific food, or actually they don't want any. So when that sign comes up, high chances we are going to lose weight. And that is also a sign of loss of appetite. But now it has gone to aversions. So if you're having loss of appetite, you're having the aversions, we are choking, we are coughing, we are vomiting. And then because of all that joined, the child starts to weaken.
Okay.
So if at all they have floppy cerebral palsy, they're going to become actually much more floppy because the body absolutely has no energy to maintain balance.
Okay.
So those are signs for you to seek help in the hospital.
Okay, so according to what we've discussed, we see that cerebral palsy does not actually even affect the child alone. So to both of you, what are the challenges do families commonly face after a child is being diagnosed with cerebral palsy? And in that same course, we are also going to bring out a bit of the stigma that sometimes surrounds about having this disability. And then, of course, we shall talk about our marathon that is coming up. That's our press conference that is coming about.
Thank you.
About, of course, DINA Special Foundation and the helping people out there who have a cerebral palsy. Let me start with you. Exactly.
So most of the challenges, like you said, they're going to come from the society.
Okay.
These children are not accepted in our society, society-wise, in courts. And this takes me back to the run. We are trying to kill the stigma in that we have inclusion of community with these children. So there is that embarrassment that the parents are going to get because my children or my child is not as normal as the other children. And then the other challenge, of course, these children are expensive, right?
Yeah, of course.
From
the
dressing them. Now, because of poor coordination or the motor impairment, we are going to need Pampers all the time.
Of course,
because they do not have control of the urine or the stool. So we're going to need Pampers. We're going to need specific utensils half the time. You're going to find that most of them are, when you're feeding them with a spoon, they bite on it. So we're not going to use the metal spoons. I'm going to go for the plastic, good quality spoons. You're going to find that some of them can't drink from a normal cup. They need a nozzle cup. Those are all expensive equipment.
Materials,
and because of the underlying condition already, the risk of infections is also high because of the compromised immunity that they have. So that means that there's going to be a lot of expenses and hospital admissions. Half the time these children are in hospital, they've aspirated, they have malaria, they have whichever other condition, sepsis and so on. So those expenses, hospital admission is expensive, right? Physiotherapy itself, nutrition consultation, right? So poverty becomes an issue. Minus the society stigma, poverty becomes an issue. So those are most of the two challenges that come with having these children. And then of course the physical labor. We are going to lose jobs, which definitely takes us back to poverty, because you're not going to keep at work all the time, right? You're going to always tell your boss, or if at all you're blessed enough to be self-employed, you can't always show up because they're taking all the time and all the effort and all the energy. So you're going to give up on a few things that you actually do to concentrate and give attention to this child. So I guess those are some of the few challenges that I can share. Maybe if my colleague has something to add.
On that some note, I think you give us your last take on nutrition and nutrition on cerebral palsy, as we are concluding. Okay,
so nutrition is a very important aspect in management of children with cerebral palsy. Truth is, without adequate food or adequate intake, because nutrition is not just about food, I've explained the causes. It has society support, it has access to health services and so on. So nutrition is literally can I say the backbone of healthy life? Because these children need physiotherapy, they need occupational therapy, they need speech therapy, and we can't achieve any of that if we are not adequately nourished. If we're not adequately nourished. So the moment we have signs and symptoms of malnutrition, as I've mentioned, it's very important to seek for help. And I call out on all mothers not to sit at home when they spot out such signs and symptoms. However, nutrition shouldn't be thought about as the most expensive thing to have, right? We actually always advise mothers to get locally available feeds, right? However, what we do to modify, it's the texture of the child. So if your child has difficulty in chewing, please, it depends on the level. You can see that, okay, they try to have jaw movement, so that means you can mash the food. But if there is no jaw movement, that means you have to blend, right? But if at all they can't chew, it's okay to give regular texture, right? And we also really emphasize a balanced diet. So a balanced diet is that I'm having all nutrients reached and maximized. So that means we give variety of foods to these children. So let's not think, oh, my child cannot have matoke, they can't eat fruits, they can't eat rice. They really can eat everything as long as it's modified. So most importantly, we look at the protein, and the proteins that includes eggs, chicken, beans, nuts, cowpeas, fish, silverfish, tilapia fish, Nile perch, all those of fish, right? I think I mentioned the eggs, the milk, the yogurt, whatever one can access in terms of protein. We provide because this is for development of the child, especially the tissue replication, that I need my child to become taller, I need my child to gain some muscle to grow. We need the protein, we need the carbohydrates, as simple as posho, rice, matoke, millet, cassava, for as long as they can have that texture of the food, it's okay to really give it. And then the fruits, because I've actually realized in my experience that we exclude fruits from these children, but then they need the vitamins that come, they need the micronutrients, because most of them have that micronutrient deficiency. So mangoes, pawpaws, oranges, whatever fruit that one can access, it's entirely okay. But the moment we're having issues with ingestion of the food, that is taking it in, we're having appetite issues, we're having vomiting. Another sign is after feeding, the child gets a wet cough, a wet voice. You know, like how you have cough? So the voice has that kind of element in it. It's a sign of aspiration, and I think this is something that has to be noted very carefully. That these children are at high risk of aspiration. food can easily go into the lungs.
Yeah.
So the moment we are seeing signs of difficulty in swallowing, which starts with chewing itself, and then I've mentioned the choking and the coughing, please take the children to the hospital. Let the professional help be gotten, and then it's always something that can get better.
Yeah.
So to maintain the optimal nutrition, following the advice I've given, there are also other forms of providing this nutrition, and allow me to talk about this. Most of our parents are really biased about tube feeding, but if a child is no longer safe to take food orally or through the mouth, I highly advise our parents to go for the tube feeding. If the professionals have said we are going to insert an nasogastric tube, the tube that goes through the nose, or we are going to insert a PEG tube, it goes through the abdomen skin straight to the stomach, it doesn't mean that the child has failed to grow or things have ended there or it can't get better. But if that's how they can receive their maximum optimal nutrition, please allow it.
Okay.
So that's how best we can get over the stigma. And once again, I invite all Ugandans to please come through for our marathon on 10th October to kill the stigma. It's just not a sporting event.
Yeah.
We are here to actually create awareness to support these families, to educate and also include these children in the communities that they deserve learning, they deserve education, they deserve a better life, they deserve rehabilitation, they deserve good nutrition. Please come one, come all. The kits go for 25,000 Uganda shillings, and it's very okay to give us more than that. We shall ask you to please buy 5 tickets and more. We shall be happy to have you. The run will take place at PG Lokalu, where our facility is.
Okay.
Yes, and this Saturday we have a press conference, so we shall be giving much more details then.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing that information with us, and winding up with you. Please give us your last take on physiotherapy among the children having cerebral palsy, and on that make a call for the people who are going to actually be there for the marathon.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
According to what you said, I call upon everyone who may have a child with cerebral palsy to take their children to the hospital. And taking their children to the hospital for early intervention helps them, or helps the child develop more
With
physical
specialized
abilities.
care,
More physical abilities. It helps them to also get to know what they can do. And early intervention also helps these children to actually, it also avoids getting into developing contractures, and having difficulties in learning their abilities. So having a child, like getting your child to the hospital and they have been diagnosed a child with cerebral palsy, you'll find that this child should getting physiotherapy, for example, starting the physiotherapy at the age of 3 months, as early as that. You can find your child will be able to walk, will be able to go to school.
Okay.
You'll find your child will be able to even to speak, because you have speech therapists.
Okay.
You have occupational therapists. You also have other nutritional therapists. So you'll find that if these children if this child gets those interventions very fast, these children will be able to even not have the bias over their bodies, because these children understand.
Okay.
They're able to talk, they're able to move, if at all an early intervention is done.
Okay.
So when this child knows that I can do this, it awakens them and also learn or do more other things.
Other things, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, it helps them to run away from the stigma. Their mothers, taking them to the hospital, taking them to school, it alleviates the stigma from the community.
Okay.
You find that a mother having a child with cerebral palsy can take that child and avoid, they'll hide those children where to hide them under the beds, keeps the child indoor, day night, day long, and these children, they get very many complications.
Okay.
But when they go into that early intervention of physiotherapy, these children are able to move.
Okay.
And they're also able to
do things there
they learn how
themselves.
to dress by themselves. They learn how to use their bodies. They learn how to feed.
Okay.
And also it alleviates the stigma from the community.
Okay, thank you very much. And from that, maybe you can make your calling to the people who are watching who actually want to come for the marathon and also support. Where do they find DINA Special Children's Foundation? Where are they getting these kids from, and who can they contact?
Okay, thank you very much. I call upon everyone out there, whoever is looking at us, to come and join us for this cause, to kill the stigma of children with cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
So we're having a marathon that we have organized as DINA Special Children's Foundation. That's going to happen on 10th of October 2026. And to join this marathon, you just have to buy a kit that costs at 25. You can even buy more. You can even buy more. You can even buy for your family to join us through the cause of killing that stigma. Yeah. So if the contacts are on our website, and also we are going to have a press conference that's going to be there on Saturday.
This very Saturday.
This very Saturday. Yeah.
And this conference is also going to be to kick off the marathon or the shout out for the marathon,
and to provide more details about where we can donate, where we can send the money, where we can get the kits. All those details will be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. As we are winding, please send greetings to only one person. Sorry, one person. As we wind up, I think I can start with you.
One person is really hard. But I send greetings to my family and friends in general. I love you all. Okay, and thank you, TB1, for having us. This has been a nice conversation.
Thank you too.
Sure thing.
I send greetings to my family. I know you are there looking at us, and I hope you also be part of the marathon. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, to our dear viewers, today we've learned that cerebral palsy is not simply about whether a child walks or does not walk. We've learned about the importance of recognizing the development differences in the early stages, and also seeking professional help and starting intervention early, supporting rehabilitation, and also providing appropriate nutrition, addressing feeding challenges, and supporting families and creating inclusive communities. And we have also been reminded that improving the lives of children with special needs cannot be left to the families alone. It requires healthcare professionals, the communities, organizations, and government, plus also the businesses. And it actually requires all of us who are watching this program. This is why the initiative for DINA Special Children's Foundation Charity Marathon on 10th of October 2026 is highly important for you who is watching and everyone. Therefore, before the marathon itself, the foundation will also hold an official charity marathon press conference this very Saturday, 22nd August 2026 at 10 a.m. at Serena Hotel, Kampala. And this conference will also bring together the partners, the sponsors and supporters, plus media and other stakeholders to build awareness and support this very important cause. So, to the guests of DINA Special Children's Foundation, thank you so much for joining us here, and thank you for the work you are actually doing in supporting these children and families. And to you, our dear viewers, thank you for watching. We shall still have these conversations every Thursday with DINA Special Children's Foundation, every Thursday till the marathon on 10th. So let's meet again next week, still for the same cause, but for your health program. Let's meet again tomorrow, and have a blessed day.
TV1. See the difference. brings a new beginning and a new day. We bring you the news that matters when it matters. From international headlines to the stories shaping our communities at home.
Because where is my ocean? I'm entitled to that ocean.
With expert analysis, in-depth conversations, and deep dives into the issues behind the headlines, we don't just tell you the news, we break it down. Start your mornings informed, prepared, and ahead of the day. New day, clear news, real insight, a smarter start. Weekdays, 6:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. only on TV1. Are you ready to build real skills for a better future? Tune in to Skilling Uganda, the show that empowers, educates, and transforms lives. From hands-on vocational skills to expert guidance and real success stories.